friends. Okay, so we are doing a holiday tour 2018 because we cleaned our house because it was on the parade of hopes yesterday. So we thought while it was clean, we would show you some of the little things that we've done at the Bell home. So the first thing we have are our little $22 Big Lots trees. Score, they were on clearance, so I bought them up. And then I didn't want to do a whole new Christmas wreath, so I took one that I already had, just added a little decor to it, added a little Christmas card, and then added these wood spindles that I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance like 3 years ago. I'm not even sure if they're Christmas ornaments, but I thought they would be cute with the wreath. And this was our super simple entry decor. And because it's freezing, and it's never freezing in West Texas, we're not spending any more time out here. We're going to go inside. So this is the first room in our house when you walk in our front door off our entry. We call it like the multi-purpose room, sitting room. I vlog in here. This is kind of our little backdrop where we do our YouTube videos, where we do some stuff with our local news agencies. So this is our little fake studio. So it's got lots of names. This mantle was a score from Round Top, Texas. I won't try to talk about all the decor in the house because I'll get on your nerves, but this mantle right here, I got it for less than 150 bucks. It's an antique mantle and I love it. And so we decorate it for pretty much every holiday. I tried to keep the decor cohesive, but it was really hard because some of the pieces that I did were DIYs for an audition because I was trying to maybe come on the show. I don't know what's going to happen, but this was one of my audition pieces, and it's a mosaic tile Christmas tree that I made on reclaimed wood. Little Christmas trees here. These are actually Creative Co-op, and I love them. So I made my own by just taking poster board. I wrapped it in a tube, and I covered it in yarn and a little bit of gold wire. I made lots of them. They're my favorite. These are vintage German sock forms. It's like what they actually use to make socks. And one of our workshops, we hold workshops here in our barns, we decorated them like stockings. And so this middle one's gonna have all my grandchildren's names. It says Marley. I have to add Olivia because we just had our second grandbaby. And that's about it. I added some wallpaper in the background to make it look like a fireplace. The other thing that we DIY'd were, this one may be easier to see, they're tomato cages, and they were like $1.50, and I just added some shatterproof mercury glass ornaments in a bow and called it good. This was another DIY that I did for my audition, and our challenge was to do something that reflected us and our family, and so I made this little spinning stained glass tree out of, basically it's plastic. It's like the stuff that you put on tables to protect them. It's like table protector. So I made a cone, and then I just kind of added the leading and then colored it in and added some Christmas lights up a curtain rod, plopped it in, and added it on a little revolving Christmas tree base. And it probably doesn't even film well, and it may not mean anything to anyone else. This really represents our whole family, kids, grandkids, people that we don't have anymore, and so it's real special to me. So it's probably my favorite room in the house because nobody ever comes in here but me, so it's real peaceful. And so that is our sitting room. And next, I'll show you our entry hall. So our entry in this house, excuse me, is a little quirky because as soon as you walk in, you have our sitting room, then you have the French doors to the office, you have the hall to the other rooms, and then we actually had a hall here to the kitchen. We filled it in because we blew out the wall, I'll show you in just a sec, and that's how you get to the kitchen now. So to make it balanced though, I kind of left this little niche, this inset. We just added some 2x12s that we had cut down at Lowe's and painted the background, and now it's like my entry. And so I decorate it again for all the holidays. A lot of this is DIY glass that I made for another YouTube video. It's also on my Instagram stories, but it's fake antique glass and fake milk glass, or faux milk glass, faux antique glass. And then I added, you know, some little bottle brush trees from Target and some little ornaments. These are little vintage cookie cutters, but kind of that was my inspiration color. All of this stuff probably came from an antique sale, flea market, Goodwill. Very, very, very inexpensive. There actually is this one piece, I'm not supposed to go off on tangents, but I actually found this on the beach in Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and it says painkiller vegetable. It's an old opium bottle. This is one of my little treasures. Over here, this was a gift. I got to go to a really cool Instagram conference with Julie and Jody, the design twins, and Zoe and Jordan makes these amazing wall scrolls, and this was one of our gifts. And I love it, so I wanted it to have its own place. So underneath it, I actually just filled some tubs, and there goes my cell phone. I just filled some tubs with pine cones and branches and some fairy lights. And we made some DIY essential oils and sprayed it on there, and so makes our house smell good as soon as you walk in. And then as we head this way, we'll go into the great room. So when you come in from the entry, you hit our living room. And this is kind of a really awkward space in our house. I never really know what to do with it. Of course, we had a red brick fireplace, and like the rest of America, we plastered it. I did like a French kind of plaster where you add water and plaster instead of like a German schmear, and pretty happy with it. My husband added a big old piece of reclaimed wood here, and I just kind of faux this to match. Kept the decor real simple this year. Just Hobby Lobby mirror, stacks of candlesticks, added some fairy lights. These are our granddaughters, Olivia and Marley. And because I just know my children are going to give me lots of grandkids, I bought 6, all matching, so the next 4, and then I'll buy another round of 6 that coordinate. Maybe one day I'll have 12 grandkids. I like alternative seating because we do host a lot. Small group for church, we have friends and family come over, girlfriends. So I got these. They're floor cushions. They have a handle on them. They fit perfect, at home goods, and they give us extra seating. The other thing we keep, again, you can tell a floor cushion because it has a handle. Like this is this really great leather handle. I got these from my friend Jennifer Mitchell. They're amazing, and people can sit on them. We can also set them in front of the fireplace because our granddaughter is learning to walk, and we don't want to hurt her face. Okay, so on the other side of our living room, it's really just our couch, lamp, our Christmas tree, all my fun candles. I should have turned these on. Alex loves when I start messing with stuff in the middle of filming. It's his favorite thing. Okay, so this is my Kirkland score. I love it. My family thinks it's dreary, but it brings me joy. Grandma got her readers on her neck. This was like a DIY garland. I took an old scrap piece of like, I don't know, some sort of cheap garland from like Dollar General or something, and I clipped some pieces from the neighbor's tree. They have the most beautiful pine trees. And then also, if you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, any of your local landscaping stores, they have to trim the bottom of the Christmas trees. They put all their branches in boxes. You can go get them for free. So a lot of these are branches I got from Lowe's out of their Christmas cutting box, and I just kind of tuck them in there. I even added some leaves from like a regular bush. They're not even Christmas leaves, and a few pine cones, and my house smells amazing. And this whole thing was free. It didn't cost me anything, and it's one of my favorite things about our home this Christmas is my free garland. We interrupt your regularly scheduled show because it's snowing in West Texas. Do you see this? I have snow on film in West Texas. I think, like, I don't even have words, y'all. I'm so excited. So now I'm going to show you the kitchen, dining area, keeping room, and then this little area we call Midtown, which was this awkward space when we were remodeling our house and we had to find some way to fill this little section. So when we tore out the wall to open up the space, it kind of left this little void here. And for about a year, I didn't really know what to do with it. It was like, do we put a credenza here? Do we do a serving buffet? And then when we were on a trip in Colorado, I found this really cool antique farmhouse table out of this antique store there, and I made my friend put it in his pickup and drive it all the way back to West Texas. And it's like one of my favorite pieces in the house, and so I capped it with a couple of upholstered chairs that I got from Pier 1 that I am sure I've recovered 2 or 3 times by now. Added a couple extra chairs, and this gets sat in all the time. Family watches TV, we eat here. I probably have it a little more decorated than I would on a regular basis because it is a functioning table, but anyway, I like how it kind of warms up and transitions into the dining space. So this is our dining area. We have, when all the kids are here, we have 12 between our 5 boys, spouses, significant others. So my husband and I, mainly him, he Googled and YouTubed how to build a table, and so he built me this really great table, and I can fit, it's snug, but 3 on each side. I think the materials for this, probably less than 200 bucks, and it's my favorite part. I know I say everything's my favorite part, this is my favoriteest part of my house. I just love it, and when we set the table, it's always kid friendly. I do have my antique milk glasses out for the Christmas home tour, but normally they are not out. Everything is plastic. Plastic bowls, plastic chargers, plastic plates, because I really, really have a desire to make our home kid friendly. I don't want it to be like, oh no, can't touch this, can't touch that. So we try to keep it super kid friendly. So all of my place settings are shatterproof. And then this piece right here is just the hutch where I keep napkins, napkin rings, placemats. I don't have enough storage, so I use market baskets that I just leave sitting out because I think they're beautiful. I have placemats in one, I have chargers in the other, although it's out in one of our barns, but it kind of stays there and I just use them, they're functioning. These are some paintings I did to go above my couch last year before I found my really pretty farm painting. And these are like dollar letters. I just painted them green, did a little dry brushing, and that's kind of our dining room. It's more of a vignette, it's more of a nook. It's not like a full room, but it transitions into our kitchen space. Okay, so my sweet husband actually pointed out one more thing that I should talk about in our dining room. We have this giant random wall, and I didn't want a bunch of decor on it because this is kind of a busy section over here anyway, and so we had the idea to just hang mirrors. Home Goods, y'all, $99. And we loved them so much that this one came from one city, this one came from one city, and one of our kids is a golfer. We had him go to Dallas, put one in his car and drive it all the way home from Dallas. So if you have a really wonky wall and you're not 100% sure what to do with it, but you want to keep it neutral, mirrors are the way to go. You heard it here first. Our kitchen. This is the big wall that got blown out and it opened up the kitchen. It allowed us to put a bigger island. Although I used both sides of my island for storage, we left the back end open so that we could tuck in some stools. And let me just show you, these bar stools I got on clearance at Target for $22. So there you go, that's a win. My husband, I know I make it sound like he's like this woodworking guru. He just is really good at following directions and he Googles things. He made me this gorgeous tray, and it's a functioning tray. There's almost always a sign here to kind of guard, or so you can't see what's behind it, because it still holds our fruit and vegetables. Here's our paper straws, because we like to have paper straws during the holidays. This is Christmas purchases. I don't buy a lot during the holidays. A lot of this stuff I've had for 10, 15 years. My friend Susie owns Curtis Creations, and one of her vendors is at Rustic Charm & Co. She made this sign. We are Home Alone fans, so Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Our island is a working island. I'm going to be baking cookies right after this. I sound like Martha Stewart. I'm not. I'm really just an ADHD workaholic, but I did take the day off to bake cookies. And now it's snowing, and I will put on my gingerbread apron, and it's going to be a good day, y'all. So here are our cabinets. That's our only set of uppers, and so that they're functioning, because if you ever open them up, they'd be junky. There's like mugs, plastic cups, plastic bowls. I did a faux mercury glass on the outside of the on the inside of the glass itself, so that you can't see what's in there. It was not in my budget to do full reclaimed wood, so this is fake. It's just paint. I do have a tile backsplash that looks like wood, but this is drywall. One Saturday, I had a hissy fit and woke up early in the morning because I was sick of this wall, and I painted it to look like wood. And it's going to stay that way because until all our kids graduate from college, I'm not going to have wood back there. We did paint our Formica countertops too. This is hammered metal. I mixed brown and silver to kind of come up with the zinc color because, again, it's not in my budget to have new countertops yet. Because I spent all my kitchen money on our quartzite countertops that are fantasy brown, and quartzite is stronger than marble, stronger than granite, but looks like marble, so I like the linear movement. Let's see what else in our kitchen. Again, just 2x12s from Lowe's that we stained and painted, and these also came from Lowe's. And I keep this pretty neutral. I didn't do much this year. Again, I clipped some things from my neighbor's tree. Her name's Troy. She knows I come and take her branches. And that's all I really used to decorate with this year and kept it low key. This section over here is the keeping room. So this was originally the hall that led to the kitchen when this wall was a wall. And when we added the bookshelves at the end, we closed this pantry off, or closed the hall off, sorry, and made it into this really long pantry, which you can't see inside because it's junky and you'll judge me, so nobody gets to look in the pantry. The rest of this is just stuff that I got at estate sales and I reupholstered. Those were a room divider. My Christmas in here is all DIYs. This is rag bunting that me and one of my daughter-in-laws made, and we just shredded up fun pieces of fabric, tied it to a ribbon, added some shatterproof ornaments. The topper up there is actually just 12x12 scrapbook paper that we glued together, and then I cut it down and I popped it up there. These are branches. They're not real swags. I just stuck a couple branches together and wrapped the ends in ribbon. Again, probably 50% off somewhere. And then I wanted the back of the couch to look different. So I have this awesome throw that I got at Home Goods, and I just kind of tucked it in, and it just looks fun and different. And then last thing is, again, we want our house to be like kid-proof and let them have fun too. So this is just a box that my husband built full of shatterproof ornaments and giant jingle bells. Because every time a bell rings, an angel gets her wings. So that's our keeping room. Oh, you know what, last thing, my dad, this was his trunk when he was a kid. And I don't have a lot of my family's treasures. And I know it looks old and raggedy, but it's a treasure to me. So that's our home tour. We're so glad that you guys watched our video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. We'd love for you to subscribe, and I hope that you guys have the merriest Christmas